The United Nations estimates that 8 to 10% of global greenhouse gas emissions result from wasted food from the supply chain. At a time when the world needs to be decreasing emissions, this poses an unacceptable environmental cost. Hi everyone, I'm Nicholas.
And I'm Dalen. We are two first-year software development students at the British Columbia Institute of Technology in Vancouver.
We are Enactus BCIT.
After doing 2 rounds of surveys in our 2019 needs assessment with the help of our partners, Food for the Hungry Ethiopia, Food for the Hungry Uganda, and Love Guatemala, our survey found that 20 to 50% of the food being produced by local farmers was going to waste.
This is due to farmers in these countries lacking the resources to store produce, as well as an effective drying method to maintain them safely.
This is where Raw Solutions comes in.
Raw Solutions is a solar dehydrator that is going to help combat food waste and ultimately climate change using the power of the sun.
Our mechanism will dehydrate produce while protecting it from contamination farmers are currently seeing. Once dried, the produce can be preserved longer while keeping all of the calories and 85% of the nutrients.
Raw Solutions works towards 3 of the UN Sustainable Development Goals: zero hunger, decent work and economic growth, and responsible consumption and production.
We plan to provide solar dehydrators to farmers so that they can turn their own waste into a secondary revenue stream, enabling them to sell their dehydrated produce. This lets us leverage our initial problem of reducing greenhouse gases into also addressing the farmer's income security as well.
In 2019, we began work on our first prototype. After a friend at Enactus Okanagan College tested it, we found that our design wasn't viable. It was bulky and used materials ineffectively, making it impractical and expensive to produce. It was also unable to effectively capture sunlight and hold as much heat as we hoped. Upon revision, the new prototype included a temperature control functionality and the ability to be flat packed for shipment.
We are now on our 3rd prototype. It has undergone various rounds of testing at BCIT to ensure its effectiveness. Given that the testing and projections for impact looked promising, we were in need of real-world testing in our target countries.
At its full capacity, each dehydrator will offset approximately 4 kilograms of waste every day. If we dehydrate for 60 days, that would be 240 kilograms of waste per year. That is waste that is offset, which aids in lowering greenhouse gas emissions.
Enactus Okanagan College introduced us to the North Okanagan Valley Gleaners, an international nonprofit organization who dehydrates vegetables on an industrial scale.
The Gleaners connected us to another nonprofit in Guatemala, Seeds for Harvest. Dennis, the co-founder, agreed to test our 3rd prototype.
The 3rd prototype was sent off to Seeds for Harvest in October 2020. Before arrival, tragedy struck in Guatemala. On October 31st, 2020, Hurricane Ida struck Guatemala, followed by Hurricane Iota 2 weeks later, killing a total of 272 people.
To show our condolences and gratitude, we donated $500 to Seeds to Harvest and gave them time to recover.
A few months later, Dennis got back to us on February 9th with feedback and updates regarding the dehydrator. He sent us a video which went in-depth regarding the temperature control function, upgrading the bug screen, and improving the durability of the trays.
In only a few days, we redesigned the prototype with an optimized temperature control unit and a higher weight tolerance.
Once we receive further feedback, we plan to manufacture another dehydrator for Dennis to test. We then hope to produce our dehydrator and start selling them to NGOs with connections to farmers, starting with the Gleaners who have already agreed to buy 20 of our dehydrators once we have finalized the design.
We estimate that our manufacturing partner will charge between $70 and $100 per unit. Our goal is to sell each unit for $200, providing a profit margin of roughly $120 that should be reinvested back into the project.
Raw Solutions has grown from a small concept to a realization that will help address climate change while improving lives.
We are Enactus BCIT.
And as the next generation,
we have taken our small step and are helping farmers take theirs too.